Hey everyone, I'm Kara Whetstone, and this is my mini lesson for the art class for Piper West. The title of my lesson is It's Wintertime, and the piece that I chose was Skating in Central Park by Agnes Tate. It's her most famous piece, and I really liked it just because it reminded me of wintertime and holidays and everything that comes with that. Um, this lesson is for third grade. For the first part of my lesson for social studies and art history, I decided to connect this lesson to learning about where in the United States snow falls the most and how that is related to our distance with the equator. So, for my standard, the students will locate major topographical features. The students will be able to analyze a map and show where snow falls the most in what region and how that relates to our distance from the equator. For my assessment, the student will receive a picture of a map with the United States, and the students will circle the equator as well as circle the United States and where the most snowfall falls. Underneath the map, they'll then write a paragraph describing how they know that that is where the most snow falls and how this relates to the equator. For my next mini lesson for language arts and aesthetics, I will introduce the painting, the Central Park painting, and ask 3 aesthetic questions, which are: how does this painting make you feel? Does this picture bring back any memories or feelings for you? And if you were a person in this painting, how would you be feeling right now? My standard is write narratives in which they recount a well-elaborated event or short sequence of events, include detail to describe actions, thoughts, and feelings, use temporal words to signal event order, and provide a sense of closure. So for my objective, it is to be able to write a narrative about a memory they have in the snow or winter time using events, details, actions, and feelings, as well as creating a drawing of this memory to put with their story. And then the assessment will be the narrative, and I will be able to assess if they wrote their memory in the correct order and provided enough detail with a beginning, middle, and end, and using the correct word choice to signal the order of the narrative. For my next mini lesson, math and art criticism, I will introduce the painting and discuss in a discussion and ask 4 art criticism questions. What colors and shapes, patterns, and textures did the artist use in this painting? Did the artist do a good job creating this picture? What season do you see in this picture? How do you think this painting relates to math? So my standard is students will discover, prove, and apply properties of triangles, quadrilaterals, and other polygons. The objective is to be able to analyze the painting and find different geometric shapes and explain how the shape they pulled out from the painting fits the definition of that shape. So for example, if they find a triangle in the shape or in the painting, they have to pull out that triangle, locate where it is in the painting, and describe how they know it's a triangle by relating it to the definition of a triangle. The assessment is I will receive their paper where they drew the shapes that they pulled out of the painting and the sentence they wrote about the shape to decide if they understood the definition of the shape and form of that specific shape. For my next mini lesson, it's Science in the Art Project. I'll introduce the painting and discuss a scientific connection. In questioning, I will ask the students to describe what they see in the painting. I will also indicate to students that this lesson will include an art project. My standard is students will communicate scientific ideas and activities clearly, and they will also draw a picture that correctly portrays features of the things being described. So for my objective, the student will be able to differentiate between a solid, liquid, and gas in relation to snow, ice, and fog. The students will create a landscape painting with watercolors that show all 3 forms of water in solid, liquid, and gas form. So I will point to the painting and point out the snow, ice, and fog in the painting, which will connect to the science standard. The students will be learning how to communicate and portray the action of water in a solid, liquid, and gas form. So my assessment will be the landscape portrait with the watercolors to show that they understand how to paint a landscape painting, as well as how to show solid, liquid, and gas form of water and what that is. Um, so that painting will help me assess if they understand that or not. For my visual arts standard for this landscape painting is creates artwork based on personal experience and selected themes, creates art emphasizing one or more principles of design, which is balance, proportion, rhythm, emphasis, unity, and contrast. The visual art objective is the students will create a landscape painting of a winter scene with watercolors using one or more art principle. And so they will have to, like I said, they'll have to know how to create a landscape painting first with the front ground, middle ground, and background, and how they're going to portray the solid, liquid, and gas form of water. So the criteria for the painting is showing those three forms of water and understanding how to create a landscape piece. And that is my lesson. Thank you.